Good morning. Welcome to CSL Greater Baltimore's pre-service meditation. I am Heather Jones, and I am a licensed yoga practitioner who will be leading this service. So I invite you to get comfortable, settle in your chairs or your space, and I invite you, if you're able, to close your eyes. And I invite us all to take a few cleansing breaths, a few clear breaths, deep breath. So when you inhale, hold for a second or two, and then do a very, very long exhale. Just do it a few more times. Inhale, hold, exhale out. Relax your body. Continue to exhale as if you're doing a very long sigh. Inhale in, hold, exhale out. Let's do it two more times. Inhale, hold, exhale out. And one more time. Inhale, hold, very long exhale. So how grateful I am that we have this opportunity to get very still, to turn within, to listen to the silence. How grateful I am that not only there's nothing required here, we're in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing, as we simply sit still and listen. So I just invite us all to be silent and hold this space of stillness. So I invite us all to come back to this space as I speak a word of prayer to close out the service. How grateful I am for this time that we have to be still, to listen, to tune in and hear the inaudible presence of God, to feel the stillness, to listen to the presence that is right where we are. God is all that there is. God is stillness. God is divine love. It is whole, perfect, complete. It is alive, thriving, expressing, always pouring itself upon us, always expressing, giving, flowing. We are one with God. We are one with all that God is. There is no separation. There is no place where God is not. God in us, as us, is us. And so I'm thankful for the time that we have to be still, to be present, to become aware of God, to become aware of our oneness with God, being aware of our wholeness, of our grace, our beauty, our harmony, our love. I'm so thankful for all that we receive, all that we give, all that we have. So with gratitude, I rest in the fullness of God, and I release this word into the law, knowing it is good. And so it is. Amen.
Good morning, everyone. It is lovely to be with you on this beautiful November morning. Sun is shining, and it's just a wonderful thing to make music in the sunshine. I've been doing that recently in my back porch studio, but today I'm inside at the piano, and I am going to take us on a November journey. So close your eyes. Think of the beauty of nature all around you, wherever you are, and let's take it all in. Namaste, everyone. Thanks so much.
Good morning and happy Sunday. Woo-hoo. I crack myself up. In order to help with our method of recording service, we request that congregants and participants who are not speaking, performing, or interpreting to please turn cameras off until after service. At that time, all can come on camera to fellowship and share the love. Woo. Thank you for your cooperation. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Great to Baltimore's virtual service. I am Tracy Rhymes, your host. Da, 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 da. Senior Minister, Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson is our speaker. Musician is Robert Hitz. Serving as today's practitioner who led the pre-service meditation is Heather Jones. Assisting with making this service open, inviting, and accessible to the deaf community are our sign language interpreters, Ashlee Goldman and Faith Moore. On behalf of Reverend Dr. Ray, thank you all for your service. At CSLGB, every Sunday is an Invite a Friend or Family Member Sunday. Make sure you spread the love and invite someone to service. We would love to have them hang out with us. Heather Jones is a licensed spiritual practitioner, serving since 2005. She is committed to revealing spiritual truth and recognizing the divine in, through, and as all. Heather serves God with a full heart and passionately provides loving support, prayer, and spiritual guidance for those going through difficult life challenges or who desire to create their best life. She loves to create sacred spiritual practices that evoke dynamic experiences of unconditional love and connect people to their deepest spiritual power. She leads a weekly sacred circle designed to support those who desire to deepen their spiritual practices and manifest their heart's desires. Thank you, Heather.
Good morning, CSLGB Baltimore. I am grateful to do our opening prayer. So how grateful I am for this opportunity to be still, to be present, to listen, to turn within. How grateful I am for the expansive, beautiful, powerful presence of God that we are wrapped in, that is always where we are. God is love, God is creativity, and it is all knowing, all powerful. It is all that there is. We are one with the presence of God. We are one with God, one with all that God is, one with the one. And I know that God expresses through and as Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson. He is God expressing. God expresses through and as Tracy, through and as Robert Hitz, through and as each and every person within the sound of my voice. We are all God in the flesh. We are all the full presence of God. There is no place where God is not. There is no separation. And so I bless this service. I know that we are receptive, available, showing up, receiving, giving, creating collectively a sacred space, a sacred service, where everything that needs to be expressed is expressed, everything that we need to receive, we receive. I'm grateful for all that we're about to receive, all that we give, all that we have. I'm grateful for the power and presence of God that we are aligned in and we are expressing as. So with gratitude, I rest, I release this word into the law, allowing it to be right now. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Heather. At this time, the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore's community honors the diversity of all religions as represented by this ceremony. Baha'i is the path of unity and peace. Buddhism is the path of compassion and cessation of suffering. Christianity is the path of love and forgiveness. Confucianism is the path of deliberate tradition. Hinduism is the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. Islam is the path of submission to the will of God. Judaism is the path of living by sacred law. Indigenous spirituality is the path of honoring the earth and all life. Shintoism is the path of ritual, veneration of kami, and honoring nature. Taoism is the path of ultimate reality through balance. Unitarian Universalist is the path of social justice and sacred activism. Science of mind and spirit is the path of awakening one's spiritual magnificence in accord with love and law. The heart. The heart represents our love for and unity with all life. Time for some announcements. Excuse me. We currently have 3 weekly ongoing ways to study, learn, and discuss. On the first and third Monday nights, the Sacred Contracts Book Club hosted by Nancy Rosenberg. On Wednesday nights, the Science of Mind textbook exploration group and the Thursday night study group facilitated by Reverend Dr. Ray. Sign up for the CSLGB newsletter, the CSLGB Facebook and Instagram pages, and get more news and information by visiting cslgreaterbaltimore.org or .com. Courageous Conversations. The CSLGB C7 Core will have group and panel discussions with Q's and A's to encourage open, honest, and authentic dialogues regarding topics such as race, gender, and being LGBTQ. If you are interested in more information about this, contact Reverend Dr. Ray. If this fundraising vision inspires you and you are interested in serving on the fundraising committee in any way possible, contact the chair, Rainica Permaletta, and come together to strategize the most effective ways to manifest funding. To get more information, meeting dates and times, and join the committee, send an email to rainicapermaletta@gmail.com. Here at CSLGB, where every Sunday is an invite a friend or family member Sunday, did you know it's also become a member Sunday? That's right. Every Sunday is a great day to choose this as your spiritual community, your spiritual family. The first step is to take the discovery class, which is offered online and can be taken at any time. For more information on how to become a member or what comes after the discovery class, visit the website or send an email to info@cslgreaterbaltimore.org or visit the website for more information on becoming a member of CSLGB. Welcome home. I know y'all love when I say, welcome home. Reverend Ray does. All right. The CSLGB Ministry of Education has an upcoming class. Jesus, the man, myth, Messiah, and metaphysical master and mystery. Whew. The class will explore who and what Jesus is to us today. Is he a historical person who actually lived? If so, what is the impact of this on us today? The facilitator is Reverend Dr. Ray. The class is tentatively scheduled for January 2022. The investment is a love offering, and if you're interested, contact Tracy Rhymes. For the full class descriptions and more information, you are encouraged to visit the website, cslgreaterbaltimore.org or .com, to find more educational opportunities in ours and other communities we are partnered with. If you would like to receive a daily text and voicemail from Reverend Dr. Ray, type JOIN to 833-663-9021 to begin receiving your daily inspirations. You will be glad you did. Okay, the fun time. On the count of 3, we shout prayer works. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Prayer works. Ooh, that was a good one. We, as a community, continue to treat and move our feet, knowing the truth for everyone around the planet. Prayer requests can be sent at any time via email to info@cslgreaterbaltimore.org. All right now. Excuse me. Classically trained, Robert Hitz's music touches the soul and creates the broad spectrum of emotions which fill our hearts with joy, love, and life. It takes one to a deeper understanding of our relationship to the magnificent creative source behind all creation. Since the dawn of the new millennium, Robert has shared his deeply creative gift with New Thought luminaries such as Gary Zukov, Wayne Dyer, Mark Victor Hansen, Deepak Chopra, and Barbara Marx Hubbard. He also has been a featured artist at Whole Life Exposed Religious Science International Conferences, numerous spiritual centers, university concert series, and musical workshops. Robert currently gives concerts, lectures, and workshops nationwide. Visit his website, roberthitz.com, for more information. I give you Robert Hitz.
Are we all there now? Great. Thank you very much for that. And what a beautiful opening prayer, Heather. And I am going to take this to, I'm creating music on the spot for our community today, both in this area and throughout. And I'm going to take Prayer Works as my guide for this to send us off. So remember how prayer works in your life. Namaste, everyone. Prayer works.
Ah, thank you, Robert. That was beautiful. Heather now returns to lead us in a spiritual practice.
Okay. Thank you, Robert, for that beautiful music. Prayer does work. And so I invite us all to take this moment, close our eyes, and we're going to breathe. Take a few deep breaths. Inhale in, hold, and do a very, very long exhale. One more time. Inhale, hold, exhale out. Do it one more time. Inhale, hold, exhale out. And so I'm going to have us meditate on love. So I invite you to say out loud in the privacy of your own space, I, excuse me, I am love. I'm just kind of relaxing that. Now say, I am loved. Exhale. Now say, I love. Exhale. One more time. I am love. I am loved. I love. So repeat that. I am love. I am loved. I love. I am love. I am loved. I love. So allow yourself to rest in that reality that you are love. You are loved. And you are love. Allow yourself to feel the stillness of that truth. I am love. I am loved. I love. I am love. I am loved. I love. Just sit in that for a moment. You are loved. You are loved. You love. You are loved. You are loved. You love. So I invite you to hold on to that space, that reality of divine love as we are available for the loving message from Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. Senior Minister, Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Baltimore, Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson, has frequently been referred to as a Renaissance man. One look at this child's resume and the reason becomes clear.
You laugh because you can hear my crutches?
Let's breathe through this. His mission is to live, move, and be an active, which is an acronym, authentic, compassionate, transparent, inspired, vibrant, and empowered member of society who serves to educate, elucidate, emancipate, awaken, and empower people and communities, and work Tracy's 3rd, 4th, and 18th nerve. I give you Reverend Dr. Ray.
Thank you, Tracy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Ooh, no, I'm fine. My foot's fine. Appreciate you. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. What's up? How's it going? How's everything in your world? I'm ready to go outside. I'm starting to feel a little bit, I need to be outside, even though I was outside yesterday. But, okay, so breathe. Okay, so today, our first Sunday in November, we have a new theme. The theme is breathe in the view. Simply appreciating where we are at this moment, finding something to appreciate and simply breathing that in. Today's title specifically is The View from Here. Living from a higher consciousness, we live life based on the timeless wisdom of the journey and recognize this arrival point is not the final destination of our spiritual evolution. Doesn't say this, but it's not even the final destination of our life. We breathe in the view, appreciating the expansiveness of our growth and the development along the way. Now, how many of us on any given day during our lifetime have thought that I'm done, or we're looking forward to being done? You know, I can't wait until this college class is done. I can't wait until I have my degree. I can't wait until I start my new job. I can't wait until I retire. I can't wait until the kids graduate and get out of this house and I can actually be free. Free at last, free at last. The kids are gone. I'm free at last. Right? How many of us on any given day are focused so much on the ending? We're focused on the finish line, not the steps that it takes to run the race. We're focused on getting to the vacation destination and not the actual process and appreciating the process that even gets us to the vacation destination. What happens if we stop looking for the I'm done and it's finished? Ernest Holmes says, the ultimate goal of life does not mean we shall ever arrive at a spiritual destination where everything remains static and inactive. This is not our ultimate goal, to reach a point of just, I'm done. I'm chilling on a cloud, playing my harp for the rest of forever. Just chilling. I'm done. I ain't got to do nothing. I ain't got to go nowhere. I'm done. That is not the ultimate goal of this thing we call life. That which to our present understanding seems an ultimate goal will, when attained, be but the starting point for a new and further evolution. We believe in an eternal upward spiral of existence. And we understand this when we think about our regular everyday lives. We start a meal, and we know that at some point that meal will conclude. And then dessert starts and concludes. And then something else starts and concludes. But what if there is actually no beginning and no end, but an ever moving process from one to one to one? Not even one thing to another, but simply one ever moving flow of life upon itself. And what happens if we stop looking at the end, or even, like I said, the beginning? Because one of the things that I have noticed is when we think about this whole idea of beginning and end, oftentimes this consciousness of heaven, hell-ish, somewhere that paradigm of eternal or eternal like somewhere in there, there's this great pleasure or there's great suffering. And so we start things with the intention of, I want to have pleasure. I want to avoid pain. Or I'm in pain and I want the pain to end so that I can start. There's always this ebb and flow between getting more pleasure, avoiding the pain. And there's nothing wrong with that in general terms. And there's nothing wrong with it, period. The idea, however, is what happens when I'm present? What happens when I stop looking at the checklist that I need to go through, my to-do list, my to-be list, my to-have list? You know, I have to have this by Christmas. I have to have this by my birthday. I have to have this by the time I'm 35, by the time I'm 55, by the time I'm 75. I have to have this. I have to be this. I have to have done this. And it's because we're on this ongoing spiral of heaven, hell, good, bad, right, wrong, naughty, nice. It's almost like we're still in a paradigm of Santa Claus where we are doing our best to be good, not to be bad. And yet the concept, the consciousness connected to that is what's holding us prisoner to that consciousness and paradigm. Simply be present to life. Breathe through life. Breathe in the view of life, of every aspect of everything, and recognize that there is no end. Holmes said it is this spiral of ever evolving, ever expanding consciousness. And so whether we think of it as like a multiverse, an ever expanding, whatever, conscious layers, levels of planes of existence, whatever it is you want to call it. But if God doesn't end, and what it is we are, incarnating itself as us, then we don't end either. So breathe. Breathe in the view of your infinitude. Breathe in the view of your eternality. Breathe in the view. Simply be present. Holmes also says, through the continual emergence of the creative principle, any last finality proves to be but the beginning of a new creative series. This eternal spiral, finding its base in the everlasting reality, will never cease to emerge. Will never cease. God always acting upon itself without end. Now, here we are once again in this frame of, what did we just do last night? Fall back. And then in a couple of months, we'll spring forward, beginning and ending. This begins the time of saving more daylight. And then we'll get to the next period of, what does it say? Proves to be but the beginning of a new creative series. There's an ongoing, we don't say, okay, so this is the beginning of my breath, and this is the end of my breath. We just breathe. We simply inhale and exhale. We don't check it off. Hey, Tracy, guess what? This morning before I got out of bed, I breathed 25 times.
What?
Check that off, boo.
You ahead again.
Right. We don't do that. Why not? We checklist everything else because we understand that breathing, life itself, breathing itself, spirit breathing itself as us. So what would happen if we looked at everything in that same way? We looked at work the same way. This is not the start of my job. It's not the start of my work day. It's not the start of my work week. It's not the beginning of service. It's not the end of service. It is simply the process of eternality operating upon itself, an ever evolving spiral of evolution without end. And that everything that we are doing is part of that exact process. That we are forever in, through, and as this thing called life, as it is acting upon itself, in, through, and as each of us, without end. And that at any moment, at any point of the journey, the day, our lives, we can pause, reflect, remember, regroup, reconnect, and know who and what we are. Simply breathe in the view, appreciate where we are, and know that this is not right here and right now. My leg is up. Why? Because 2 Mondays ago, I had surgery. This is an ongoing process. And there's that part of me is like, oh man, Tracy, I can't wait till I'm not on crutches again. To which Tracy says, dude, did you forget you got a right foot you're getting done after the left foot is done? So you could be friends with these crutches for a while. And it's like, yeah, breathe in and appreciate the view. Whatever the view is, find that breath that says, even in the midst of pain, I know that this pain is temporary. Even when chronic back pain from sciatica or whatever, or the herniated disc in my neck, even if it's chronic pain, even in that, breathe in and appreciate the view. Is there something that I'm able to be grateful for in this moment, in this moment, in this moment? Our declaration of principles, hold on, before we get there, let's explore this. Ernest Holmes says in the book, Effective Prayer, I believe absolutely in the immortality and the continuity of the individual stream of consciousness, which is what we mean by the individual life stream. Humanity is an ascending principle of life, individuality and expression through experience and unfoldment. Do we believe that? Do I believe that? Do I believe absolutely in the immortality and the continuity of? Our Declaration of Principles, what we believe, says we believe in the eternality, the immortality, and the continuity of the individual soul forever and ever expanding. Do we believe that? Are we able to believe that? Do we give ourselves space to believe that? Do we explore what it even means to believe that? We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. Do we believe that? Note the key word in the eternality and the immortality, the continuity, the eternal goodness, eternal loving kindness, and eternal givingness of life to all. Eternal. Appreciate the view. Breathe in the view of this right now moment in the expansiveness of that which is eternal. We believe in our own soul, our own spirit, and our own destiny, for we understand that the life of all is God. Do we believe that? And if we do believe this, and I mean deep down, I believe absolutely. Do we believe absolutely in? Then what does it look like in our lives? When it's just theoretical, it's a thought. But when it becomes our mental equivalent, it is our thinking, our speaking, our feeling, and our actions, then we see the evidence of it. So if we believe this, what is it showing up in our lives as? Because when we really get down to the nuts and bolts and ask ourselves, what do I believe? Okay, fine. What do I believe about my body? Because what I believe about my body is going to show up in my thoughts, words, feelings, and actions. What do I believe about relaxation? What do I believe about love? What do I believe about death? What do I believe about God, myself, and other people? What do I believe about any aspect of? Because along the journey, wherever we are in life, these things show up. So I believe a vacation is relaxation. But I also believe that standing in line in the airport and being on the plane with all these people who are going to complain and whine and, oh God, there's a baby on board too. Oh, I'm going to be stuck on this flight for 6 long hours. I'm going to be in hell. Is that my mental equivalent? Is that what I believe? No matter what it is, what do I believe about traffic? What do I believe about shopping? Everything that we do in this thing called life must outpicture based upon whatever we are holding as the mental equivalent of it. So being really grounded in knowing, what is it that I believe? What is it that I think about, speak about, feel about, and act about any and every aspect of my life? Because I'm not going to be able to breathe in the view if my mental equivalent is, are we done yet? Like, when does this end? When is service over? When will Tracy stop talking? When will Reverend Ray stop running his mouth? When will I be off crutches? When will the next surgery begin? When will I be in pain? Just breathe. Breathe and be present to the right here, right now. Breathe in the view. Breathe in the view. Science of Mind says the sum total of all erroneous human belief binds until the individual mentally lifts themselves above the law of averages into the higher law of spiritual individualism, and to which I also add spiritual collectivism the allness. So it's not just about me individually, but I understand that when I lift my consciousness, the law of averages, I lift myself to the higher law of spirit, of love, of God, of the thing itself, then knowing that there is only one, as I do it for myself, it must affect everything and everyone. You know, one of the things that showed up in the film The Eternals, not giving any spoilers, relax, was this concept of the unimind. There's only one mind. Yes. And what happened when one of the Eternals linked? They all linked, even the ones who may not have wanted to. So when any one of us does this individually, it up levels everything collectively, because there is only God acting upon itself. So when you meditate, you are meditating some aspect of me. When Heather prays, Heather is praying all of us into that consciousness of. When Robert plays, he is playing and raising the vibration of everything on the face of this planet, all at once, with one single note. Everything and everyone is affected, because God cannot exist in isolation, separate from itself. That's why I say into the higher law of spiritual individualism and spiritual collectivism. There's only one. So erroneous, but the opposite of erroneous is when we understand something to be correct, something to be true. We're going to focus on that, true. What does it mean for something to be true? Well, in terms of what we teach and what we practice, there is nothing to heal, only that which is true, capital T, truth, to be revealed. Precedent is not necessarily what is true. It's a fact, or it's a lowercase t truth, but principle is capital T true, capital T truth. And principle is not bound by precedent. Truth is not bound by facts. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Because what do we say? Declaration of Principle number 5, we believe the ultimate goal of life to be a complete emancipation from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all, because it's the truth. Breathe. Eric Butterworth says, it is a powerful insight to live by. Always get the view from the top. Before you react in any kind of non-life affirmingness, he says negativity to people, conditions, or things, take a moment to lift up your eyes unto the hills. Raise your consciousness. Contemplate all the changing, challenging experiences from the highest possible point of view. Base it on principle, not precedent. Base it on truth, not erroneous beliefs. Because when we get there, we are invited to ask, what does principle call me to do? What is my spiritual imperative in this moment? What am I called to be, to do, and to have in this moment based on principle? Christian Larson says, this is our purpose: to live the purest, the largest, the fairest, the most useful, the most beautiful, and the most spiritual life possible, just for today. To be our very best here and now, with no desire to outshine some other being, but simply to be all that we are in divine being now. Thank you, Christian D. Larson. But the question I have is, what does it mean to live a spiritual life? Because there's only what God is, and so what we are is spirit made flesh. That means We are right now living a spiritual life, but are we living it consciously is the question. Because the Buddha says, this is the entire spiritual life, Ananda. That is good. That is good friendship, good companionship, good comradeship. Community. Oh, wait. This is the entire spiritual life, Ananda. Community, good friendship, good companionship, good community is the entire spiritual life. When a monk has a good friend, a good companion, a good comrade, it is to be expected that this monk will develop and cultivate the noble eightfold path. Enlightenment. When we are in community, when we understand our connection to, that is an aspect of what it means to live a spiritual life. But even more so, living a spiritual life is understanding what Holmes said in Ideas of Power. The only God you will ever know, you will discover within yourself. You will discover as yourself. The only God you will ever know is the one that you discover as yourself. There is no other God to know. Because even the God that you see in another, recognized as another, is still the same one God. So live authentically, live boldly, live audaciously, live on purpose, live godly, live as God would live. For as Holmes said, God in me, as me, is me. And when we live that, when we live from that consciousness and that paradigm, then we are consciously engaged in what it means to be love on earth, love in the flesh. Not just spiritual beings having a human experience, but we understand and we practice being spiritual beings, having a spiritual experience that we call human, but is no less spiritual than the infinite I am expressing itself in, through, and as all that is. Ralph Waldo Emerson says, prayer is the contemplation of the facts of life from the highest point of view. To which we could add from our teaching, prayer is the declaration of truth about life from the highest consciousness and point of view. And so we breathe. We breathe and appreciate the view, breathe and appreciate the knowingness, breathe and appreciate our willingness to step all in. This week's exercises for us. Journal about what beliefs from my childhood or a former religious background, etc., am I still believing and acting upon? Maybe beliefs about money, beliefs about heaven and hell, beliefs about judgment or relationships, beliefs about good old Santa Claus. Are there any beliefs that I'm still somewhere in my consciousness acting upon that were things from my childhood or a former religious background? Then identify 4 beliefs that are not in alignment with principle and any beliefs that are not life-affirming. If it's not nurturing, if it's not moving you in a direction of what you know you desire and deserve, are you willing to explore the beliefs about betrayal, bitterness, forgiveness, whatever it is, in order to transcend this and move through it to experience life on your terms? To truly be able to breathe in and appreciate the view. Then ask, what is the highest vision that I can hold of and for my life right now, my community right now, and the world right now? What is the highest vision that I can hold of and for my life, your life, the community, and the world? Because keep in mind, if we anchor and ground into the belief there will always be war, then that mental equivalent is going to be without pictures. But if we say, you know what, I used to believe that, and I'm willing to believe something different in this moment. What do I need to do to change that, to transform that belief, to go to that highest view of consciousness where I see, recognize, and understand principle and operate from that? And then lastly, have a conversation with dos personas about where you are in your life right now and how did you get here? You know, talk about your journey, talk about your adventure, and talk about where you intend to go. It's almost like that, to go back to the airport analogy. You're in the airport and you ever have that person that's either sitting across from you or whatnot, and they're like, hey, where are you headed? And you say, oh, I'm on my way to Jamaica. Oh, where are you coming from? Coming from Maryland? Oh, what you going to Jamaica for? Was invited to speak there. Oh, what you going to speak about? Right? It's having, Scott Tracy's laughing at me right now. It's having this conversation about where are you from? Where are you now? Where are you going? Because remember, it says in the Bible, where there is no vision, the people perish. So what is the vision that you have from where you were, where you are, and where you are going? And so we breathe this week's declaration, our affirmation. First, I will say it. And then if you feel in alignment with it, say it with me on the second go round. I lift my eyes to the highest and grandest view of life. Together. I lift my eyes to the highest and grandest view of life. And we breathe. We breathe in appreciation, we breathe in the view, and we breathe in the very presence and power of my beloved brother, Robert Hitz, as he takes the stage to bless us with and grace us with what I call prayer by music, or musical prayer. Ooh, thank you, Robert. Love you.
Well, that was amazing. Thank you so much. From right here, right now, at the center of the universe, from my center of the universe to yours, here and now. And I do actually believe in how spirit works through me when I am creating music. So I'm going to take the view from here for all of us. Namaste, everyone, here and now, forever.
Thank you ever so much, Robert. The magic of musical meditation. Thank you. So, this part of service, we reflect, we remember, we engage in the spiritual practice of donating and tithing. As Tracy says, one, because we are a business, it's to keep the lights on. But two, it's also to sow seeds of consciousness where we are spiritually fed, to continue to support the community in ways that will assist the community in expanding the reach of and the scope of how we are able to reach out into, as Karen said, the community, reach out into the world. Because the more we are able to do in our center, the more we are then able to do outside in the world. Because ultimately, isn't everybody our neighbor? It's not just the people who come to CSL Greater Baltimore. And CSL Greater Baltimore isn't the only home, right? Everywhere is home. Wherever your heart is, there your home is also. And your heart, God's heart, is everywhere. So we're able to call anywhere, everywhere, and everyone home. And when I think of home, I think of a place where there is expanded consciousness growing. There's love and affection. There's truth steeped in principle. And so the practitioners of CSL Greater Baltimore have pledged by the end of the year $25,000. And as of the end of October, that number is $14,710 on top of their regularly scheduled tithes. The community's matching pledge of $25,000 as of 10/27, $2,750. And this, once again, is on top of their regularly scheduled tithes. If you want to know how you are able to offer tithe donate, PayPal, text to give, postal mail service. You are also able to divide a portion of your tithe in a variety of ways. A portion can go to education. A portion can go to the new building fund. A portion can go to music, or Tracy said, or me. The practitioner, like, you can divide, you're funny. You can divide a portion of your tithes in various ways. And if you ever want more information, you can always go to the website, www.cslgreaterbaltimore.com/give, or check in with any of the board of trustees to get your answers to any questions you may have. So we recognize that our declaration of financial wealth and prosperity is actually our declaration of wealth and prosperity in every aspect of our lives, not just financial, but it's an abundance of health and well-being, an abundance of love, of joy, of laughter. It's wealth and abundance in all of our ways. And one of those ways is finances. So if you are feeling in alignment with this, then say it together with Tracy and I. Are you ready, Tracy?
I guess since you said I would.
I joyfully, consciously, and gratefully participate in the law of circulation. I trust in the spiritual principle that says, as I sow into my beloved community, I demonstrate my awareness of standing not only in the flow, but as the flow itself. As I sow of myself, my time, my treasure, my talent, I demonstrate my support and engagement in my community's vision, mission, and purpose. I actively give as a demonstration of manifesting, of reaping the harvest of a world that works for all. And so it is. I don't know if y'all heard Tracy. Tracy got jokes. She said, oh, had to take an extra swallow. Now, next time she coughs, hey, you need some water, Tracy? Watch. See?
Can you get it for me?
Ooh. It'll take me a minute, but yes, I can get my crutches together, and yes. Be awesome today.
Yes.
Go out and do what awesomeness calls you to do, steeped in the principle of what it means to be an awesome being. Because as there's a song from my former Christian days, our God is an awesome God. So recognizing that this awesome God is you. You are that which is awesomeness itself personified. Be that. Have that. Go out and do what that calls you to do. Tracy's over there singing, and we're going to move on. Just so you know, Dr. Ronnie just contacted Tracy, so we will not be having visioning today, just so you know. I know it's the next slide, but it was on my mind. I wanted to mention it.
Okay, go ahead.
Tracy micromanaging.
Say it again.
But know that right here and right now, Heather is available for 1-minute miracles or after service prayer. So if you want Heather to pray, knowing the truth of, for, and about you, simply type the word prayer in the chat box and Tracy will be sure to put you in a breakout room with Heather. There it is, Tracy. Now, once again, let us be reminded that there is no visioning today. Tracy over there talking to herself.
Well, the slide didn't update.
I might have to call Heather. I'm not gonna be able to get in a breakout room with you, but pray for Tracy, please.
Yeah, look.
So
Take a breath. Take a breath.
we close out. We close out this service, this Sunday service, recognizing that the isness and allness of the eternal power and presence of love itself continues to be in service to itself in all ways, always, forever and ever. And so we steep ourselves in, we breathe in the joy and the gratitude, the wonder and the view of appreciation, recognizing where we are right now is good. We simply breathe in and allow this goodness, this givingness of life to all to well up within us. We breathe it in, we breathe it out. We put our right foot in and we shake it all about. Simply knowing that the law receives and all is good. We allow this to be what it is as answered prayer, and together we declare it to be so by saying, and so it is. Amen. Blessings, everybody. Much love. Chat with you soon. Tracy's going to open up the chat line so everyone can speak and love up on each other. Appreciate you.